aka Sarge. So, yep, welcome to the new FMAK.
Hey, thanks. Oh, FMAK. What does FMAK stand for?
Well, give it a minute, Sarge. I think it'll come to you.
Good morning,
everybody.
You guys doing okay?
I didn't realize I was going to start on stage. I was going to, oh man, you blew it for me. All right. Good morning. Good morning, Carrie. Giggles.
Everybody doing okay?
I'm groovy.
Looks like we're going to get some rain today, but
great background. Hey, Muckster.
Hey.
Say something. Say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious or whatever.
Nope, shit.
Yeah, I refuse to say anything that sounds like that person's fake name.
I was just trying to do an audio choke because yesterday you had a weird tunneling noise. It sounds much better this morning.
Really? Because I haven't changed anything.
Maybe it's my lack of coffee. You'll start sounding weird here in a minute. GMK, good morning.
Yeah, you got the question there.
Okay.
Are we?
Here, let me take that one. Because
what was it? Good morning. Which channel are? Oh yes. Right now we're publishing the 3.
Never mind. Okay. So are we hearing me? GMK, that's an interesting question. Now, we have been juggling how to do stuff, as you noticed. And what we're doing is, last night I created a totally new channel, but it's not linked to StreamYard yet. And all of this kind of stuff will then be on that channel. I believe I called it FMAK Chat and Fun, something like that. Actually, I'll go find it and we'll put the link up so you guys can start subscribing to it. And very soon, any of this kind of stuff will all be going to that channel. And then people do individual stuff on other channels. Like, the one you guys all know was Sarge's original channel. So Sarge gets back into doing some of the stuff he used to do. Why should we be crowding his channel? So yeah, it's going to actually be much cleaner and less confusing. We will now have one brand new channel. It'll be the one that we do all this kind of stuff on. And I don't know. I don't want to be Sarge and over-explain. Did I explain enough?
Well,
first
the question is which channel to use right now.
Right now, we are publishing 2.
I think we're going to leave them all. We'll leave them all up right now, right? Just if you can see us now, just stay where you are.
When Muckster pulls his head out of his 4-point contact, find where the new channel is, subscribe, join, and click the $sign and send us lots and lots and lots of money.
Yes, we need it.
Yeah, because coffee's expensive. Good morning.
Yeah, Muckster said, "Let me explain it," and then when he finished explaining it, he said, "I don't know."
That's usually where I stand after Muckster explains something. I don't know, but we are currently publishing to just Muckster. We're currently publishing to the original Old Sarge Finko, which is now some kind of alphabet soup that some channels don't like the word kill in it. It's not killing time, it's just skill. And Master Sergeant Retired is in the house. Really, a lady using the 4-point contact phrase, yeah, we still stuff, you got me. I wasn't really a leg, I was mech, but okay, I get your point. Point taken, Top. Point taken. To the the alphabet soup one, which used to be Old Sarge Finkel, but apparently I have a limit to how many times I can change the name. I have to wait 12 days.
Right.
And the old political Finkel, which is now, what did I name this thing?
FMAK chat and stream.
Yeah, it's right there. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh, no, this is the one I just put
Morning.
in the chat and play. That's the new one that we'll be using. That's
Okay.
the one that's going to be totally clean. You know, it won't be any old stuff hanging around on it. It'll just be the one we use from now on.
Should we add that now?
So, and hello, Donna. Hello, everybody else that I didn't say hello.
Donna.
If I click on edit
That's-
and plus,
I don't think
YouTube
it's part of the destination chat, is it?
it's not. That's
No,
not. Oh, I have to be the account owner. You have to do it, Muck.
No, it just isn't. It isn't in there yet.
Oh. Feet,
But
knees, face.
we just have to add it to StreamYard. That's the only thing left to do with it.
You know, it never occurred to me, Top, that was an airborne reference. You just put it together. Oh, I'm highlighting the wrong one. Yeah, no, that's the right one. Not enough coffee yet. Wow, you hear it all over the Army, and you incorporate what you hear. Like Blue Falcon. I'd heard Blue Falcon before I met somebody online, and I was aware of what it meant, but I thought it was only airborne. Lately, I've heard it's across the military. Even the other branches have it now. FAK, I didn't mean to ignore you, and I want to thank you for something you got to my attention yesterday, and I think I unscrewed it.
Good morning, Mitch. The only Blue Falcon I know used to be a Saturday morning cartoon show.
Oh,
Blue Falcon and Dinobot or something. Yeah. I don't know.
It was a cutesy way of saying BF. B for buddy and F for similar word to screwing. See, I'm trying, Muckster. I'm trying.
Welcome to Stunt Rock Confusion and Donna Kennedy Adams.
Stunt Rock, that's the new name as far as I'm aware of. I'm not familiar. Welcome. Is this stream mostly about Army stuff? No, this stream's about whatever. We're drinking coffee, and when we get ourselves unscrewed, we're going to have one channel where the four of us run it, and we're going to talk about any issues of the day. Part of what pointed us in this direction is some of the channels that we post to, like me, I like to play around and stir the pot and get at it with other channels. And these guys aren't really into that. So, as a team, we're moving away from that stuff into whatever conversations we like. I think, I'm not holding them to it, but I think I heard Killing Time's going to do a morning show.
It's something
I'm working on them.
Okay. And I think Muckster's, he and I are trying to do kind of a music show. And Ariel here, he's our graphics specialist. If you see any cool graphics, it's not me or Muckster, or probably not Kellen. It's probably Ariel's work.
If I get input, from you guys. You guys see me do it. So,
hey, Howard.
Now, for those of you coming in on a channel called FMAK Air Kill, that's the original Old Sarge Finkel channel. And after my 11-day restriction on changing names, that's going to change to Old Sarge Finkel, and then I'm going to do whatever off track from the team, and sometimes on track of the team. And each person has their own channel or channels. Does he do contract work? Does who do contract work?
Ariel.
Oh, I can't speak for him. Ariel, that's on you.
Excuse me, I have to interrupt here. I am his business manager. Any contracts go through me. And I'll give you my Cash App, and then I will, pass it on to Ariel.
Jammin' Jet, that's a name I haven't heard in a while. Hey, Jammin', like my my hat.
I was just thinking about Jet. The other day. I was going through my subscriptions, and I thought, boy, Jet hasn't been here in a long time.
I haven't seen him.
Anyway, Ariel, I'll let you go ahead and speak for yourself on the contract thing.
Well, I was going to say that there was a budget put in for this little background, but I've never got paid, so I'm kind of on strike now.
Well, yeah. I just noticed the dollar sign's not at the bottom chat yet, and Muckster's been on that for like 6 months. Come on, Muckster, we're losing money here.
Oh, there he is. Hey, dirt guy. Welcome.
Dirt. I don't see a dirt guy. Oh, dirt guy. Right at eye level. Morning, Kerry. Okay. Kerry does karaoke. We should get him to perform. I don't know.
Only if he's good.
Good point.
I was going to say, we made that mistake once before. We let somebody sing, and we found out that he's not as good as he thinks he is.
That's the way we all are. Good morning. All right. And carte blanche. It's afternoon over there. To Hipside to say, good day, Mux. Oh, Mux. Oh, come on, man. What am I, chopped liver? Anyway, love the cap.
Yeah,
me
and Cart go way back. We've been through things together, you know.
Friday,
the Kangaroo War of '92.
Friday, I celebrated a significant event of 12 years, and this was one of my gifts. Anyway.
Thanks, Mitch. We appreciate the coffee dono money.
Oh, right. How does that transfer through Muckster's account into our pay?
It comes directly out of your account to us.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I didn't realize this. Mr. Carey has over 5,000 followers who feel sorry for us singing. That's how Muckster got his start. He used to sing on his channel videos, the videos tab. He'd do some singing, and I thought this guy needs help. So I did an intervention, and that's how we met.
Yeah, and you started a music show with him.
Yeah, we did a couple flops. We did a West Wing show, flop. We did a music show, flop. And mostly copyright stuff. Then we met you two characters when we decided to go 24/7, flop. Thomas Edison was once asked, how did he invent the light bulb? He said, by going through 1,000 ways to not invent the light bulb. Apparently he had 1,000 failures before he had this incandescent thing that actually glowed. Because what's the past tense of glow? Glued, lit up. Okay. Sorry, by the grace of God.
Glowed.
Okay. Oh, way to go, jamming. What's that?
I just said glowed.
Glowed. I get my tenses wrong sometimes. I do a weekly music stream on Friday. It does well on my own metrics. Wahaha. Do you use copyright music? Because that's what kept slapping us down.
Yeah.
I'm curious. What is your secret? Do you actually contact the owners of the music and say, can I? Or do you give them a profit? Or we're not monetized, so we can't share a profit. What great topics of interest do you guys have this morning? Oh, are we supposed to be open panel? Do you want the link out there? Or is it just us geezers yelling at the crowd here?
Up to you guys.
I'm the old Switzerland. I'm neutral on it.
Switzerland.
Yeah, I don't care. I mean, you can put it out there. It's no big deal. I don't like the Swiss.
If you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, wish to come up here and talk about what else, over your coffee, over your breakfast, the link is, the link is there. I do use copyrighted music, so I can monetize those streams, but people tip me. I play vinyl. I only play vinyl. Oh, are you part of the vinyl community? Rachel's Ghost and all them. Okay. I don't know. All right.
All kinds.
All right. Once there's a way to get back homeward.
You have a lot of records if you're doing vinyl.
Vinyl, yeah. If you play it backwards, you can hear demonic.
I think you just hear Muckster yelling in the back. That's all.
Oh, FMAK chat in play. Whoa. Whoa. 4 subscribers already. Was it F? All right, I got to subscribe, don't I? I'm going to be on this team, right? Muck, can you put the link in the thing? Or
I already did. You weren't paying attention. Nobody
Yeah,
pays any attention to me.
It's down there twice.
I work. I do, and I do, and I do, and nobody cares.
you sound a lot like Kahali. Deeper voice, but same content. FMAK chat and play.
In the address, there's no and. It's just FMAK chat play.
Chat play. I see. We're doing abbreviations now, says the guy who really tore up the naming conventions. Okay.
We got a guest backstage. Jet was there, but his device never connected.
Here's the other woman who claims I'll be right back.
Well, nobody else is going to. I'll bring him up.
Oh,
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Stunt Rock Confusion, by the way.
Okay. All right. Was that Kamala's
Kamala RS1.
RS1. Okay.
The pun on KRS1. Knowledge rules supreme over nearly everyone. The rapper from the 80s.
okay.
All right. Well, welcome up.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Welcome.
Do you have something on your mind, or you
Not
just wanna-
really. Like I've seen Sarge Finkel a bunch of times out of I don't know how. So
It's
because
okay.
his
We
name
can't
kept
figure it out
coming
either.
up on my feed, so I wondered, what is this? Why? Why?
I get around.
Yeah. No, but you asked like about the violent community. Yeah, I do the violent community, but not really the there's the commie bastards and the Nazi dickheads. I'm not really part of the Nazi dickheads.
All right.
So I
Subscribed to a channel that I'm supposedly a part of. Now we can stream to it. Can we set up the stream midstream, or do we have to do it for our next stream?
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
it says it can take up to 24 hours to actually make it a part of it.
24 hours. Ooh. Okay. All right.
Welcome,
why are
Jet.
you all on avatar mode, apart from Finkel.
It's morning, and they all got bedhead.
No, my camera does not work, guys. You know that my camera will not turn on.
That's his
I'm not
story.
allowed to go with camera on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
He cannot.
And I'm on my laptop until my PC gets fixed, or I would have a camera too.
Okay.
For those of y'all that don't know, Killen is in the witness protection program, so he can't show us.
All right.
I mean,
Well, I'm in Sweden, so it's not like morning is not really an issue here. It's let me show you here. Yeah,
Okay.
pretty
oh wow.
No.
middle of the day.
Where's this at?
That's
Sweden.
Oh,
Sweden.
Yep.
Sweden. Oh, it's beautiful. The truth is, Kamala RS1, when handsome guys like you and I are up here, they're so intimidated they don't want people to compare, so they go behind their avatars.
is that so? All right. Well, I haven't added. I don't know if it's an edge or a drawback, but I'm French also, so I could also use a French accent and be sexy like that, as you Americans think it is. But yeah, not really.
All right.
Well,
Speaking of handsome guys,
everybody's been talking. Jet's been on stage. How about we say hi to him?
oh,
I didn't
Jamin,
realize he came up.
What's that,
Jamin's
Jim?
up, and another handsome fellow's down there in the basement. We do have room for one more. Oh yeah. Oh wow, we're getting smaller. The more we add, the smaller we get. Let's get small.
What's up?
How you
Hey, I heard y'all talking about rap. Who likes to rap? Who was your rap guy?
The Beatles.
The Beatles?
Rakim. There's different ones.
Woke
Oh,
up
okay.
out of bed. Back
I
cold
like-
across my head.
Have you ever heard of Old Dirty Bastard?
Yeah, ODB. Yeah, he passed
Yeah,
away.
ODB.
Yeah.
Dude, like his third album, Nigga Please. Okay.
Howard.
Is
Yeah.
oh
ahead.
my God, is that good?
Let me clip him saying old dirty bastard.
Oh no, you should check out like you
That's his
should
name.
listen to the whole album. You really should. But
He was
I
part
think
of
it's
the
like
Wu-Tang Clan.
cut
That's where he
3.
came from.
I think like if he was doing vinyl or something, it would be like cut 3.
Yeah. I have that
I
record.
think.
I have rap is not really my biggest music, but I still have like probably like 300, 400, 500 records of rap. So
You ever listen to Wu-Tang, the Wu-Tang Clan?
I'm more into stuff from either the 80s or from the late 90s. But like my favorite stuff from the 90s, around the same area as Wu-Tang would
Yeah.
be.
Wu-Tang Clan, I think they came on around 2000s, right?
No. They came out in 93.
Okay.
36 Chambers was released in
Okay,
93.
yeah, you're right.
But,
How about you ever heard Sugar Hill Gang?
of course.
Rapper's Delight?
Yeah. That's almost like, but that's more like electro boogie almost.
It is. That's a different era. Yeah, that's early hip hop.
Oh yeah.
I'm really into like Mantronics, Latin Rascals, all the freestyle
Yeah,
stuff.
Mantronics, very good. Mantronics, they came out with a lot of good producer.
The Sonics, like stuff like Cool
That's the
Key.
Sonic. Yep.
Yeah.
I might be misremembering, but I think Sugar Hill was the first hip hop group into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Could be, yeah.
Hip hop, a hip to the hip, and the hip hop can't stop rocking to the bang bang boogie. So up jump the rhythm of the boogie to beat.
Well, can you do the message now?
Yeah.
Here we rock a re-rock a Scooby Doo. Guess what, America? We love you.
Come on, Howard, do the message now.
What? What message? The hot butter on my breakfast toast?
The message.
You know, broken glass everywhere. I just don't care. That's a very good song. It's a good story song.
I like hot butter on a breakfast toast. I'll be right back. I'm going to mute and
go ahead.
Cam, I'll
I
be
like
back.
the gangster stuff, man, like Snoop. And, oh man, when rap, I grew up. I was in my early 20s.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
63.
63, yeah. Yeah, the really first rap records is 79. It's but it's like almost like boogie. It's like the whole Sugar Hill gang stuff.
They go back probably, but like something that you probably heard, yeah.
But the first
you can go back into the 70s though, yeah.
Yeah. No, it's 70. It's like I work with music and I've wrote a lot about it. So it's like I don't remember the name of the band. I have the 212 inches down at the studio there, but yeah, it's pretty fun times. Now,
rap was relatable in the trailer park at the time. Okay, for real.
Yeah, well, it still is. There's currently this thing called cloud rap, which is all about these kids who are disenfranchised and who are all like on Advil, like all these like and they only talk about how like fucked up their life is. So it is relatable for trailer park that way. I would assume.
Everywhere you go, there's a hood everywhere you go. Doesn't matter what country or you know what I mean? There's always a guy somewhere.
Well, there's not really a hood where I live here, since I'm in the forest on an island. But
hey, you know, like the word ghetto.
Yeah.
The night of broken glass, all that shit. You know, what's a ghetto? Shit, it was a neighborhood.
I come from
Lower
Paris.
class, working class neighborhood. Jewish, mostly. Germany, Poland.
Believe me, there's ghettos everywhere. But yeah.
Like you say, there's a hood everywhere.
Yeah.
And there's all kinds of shit in the hood.
And usually it's the east part of the city, at least in Europe.
Okay.
When you're an immigrant hood, you know, or something along those lines, you a lot of times got your own rules.
Mm.
There's no rules. There's no rules in the street. You know what I mean? There is, but there ain't.
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Certain
things can get you in trouble in the streets. It has nothing to do with the law, but yeah.
Sure can.
And where you guys at, if you don't mind me asking, in the U.S.?
I'm in Virginia.
I'm in Maryland.
Maryland, all right. So East Coast.
I'm in the civilized part of the U.S., Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I thought you was in the Alabama portion of Pennsylvania, though.
Well, I am, but, you know, it's still north.
Goddamn Yankee.
I'm going to go to Miami in a couple of months, which I think is kind of both extremes of civilization and the swamp at the same time.
Hey, biscuits. What are you going to be doing in Miami?
I'm going to visit some friends just in case the U.S. closes down for us foreigners. Just in case.
I got to bounce on now. I got to go do some stuff.
All right, Howard.
See you in a bit.
Bye-bye.
We'll see you. 3 minutes is up, right on time.
In the words of the immortal Thomas Jefferson, as expressed in Alexander Hamilton, what did I miss?
We just chit-chatted about where we are in the ghettos and rap, which is not your strong suit, Finkel, right?
I'm in Fairfax County, and I love the original rap, the Beatles, A Day in the Life.
Yeah, but the Beatles are from the UK.
Well, yeah, but they invaded. There was a British invasion back then.
They did invade. Yeah.
And that really, and you became like a crusader.
A what?
A crusader.
A crusader.
For the Beatles.
The Beatles was my first music interest. And when Sugar Hill Gang came out, I thought that's an interesting sound. I've heard it somewhere before, and I went back to the Beatles' Day in the Life. I'm like, the bit about waking up, having a cup, racing to the bus, that sounded very similar to me. I'm like, so the Beatles were the original rap. I don't know. I'm just
the original rap would be Bo Diddley.
Pardon? Yeah, rap's been around for a long time. There's records where people have rapped on them.
Oh,
yeah, it goes
jazz,
back. Well,
there's lots of jazz records where
singers
are actually rapping.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like the Beatles. I like the Beatles as much as anyone else, but like in the vinyl community, they're so obsessed with that it becomes like it kills the joy out of it for me. I mean, like, you know, when I got most records after the boys band early days. Like I started with Beatles for Sale. Of course, I have the European albums. I don't know anything about your weird American versions with added reverb and stuff like that. But people who obsess about the pressings and listening to this over and over and rediscovering, when like I'd rather discover 50 new bands every day and choose 2 great ones out of these 50.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what I do. So
yeah. So you're a collector of all kinds of music on vinyl, I take it.
I'm not a collector. I have a collection, but I'm not a collector because the collector, in my mind, the goal of the collector is to own, to get something, and then to put it on the shelves. I do something with the music. I share it, It's a little bit more. I know it's probably a little bit how would you say, a bit hypocritical in the sense that I have like 15,000 records, so most people would consider me. But yeah, I have all kinds, and mostly free jazz, avant-garde, modern classical, experimental, electronic music, but all kinds. I have a big section of Cajun music.
Cajun. Okay.
The Balfa Brothers.
You ever listen to some Latin jazz?
Yeah, sure.
It's good stuff, man.
The problem with Latin jazz is, what does that mean? Latin
Well,
jazz. Does that mean it's music from New York made by Cuban immigrants?
Yeah, a lot of times that's what it is. Yeah. But
because Italians are Latin, French people are Latin.
Yeah.
So you see, but yeah, I think music, the more music you listen to and the more you welcome different kinds of music, the more free you are, and the better human being you are for other people around you.
Yeah. But in my divorce, the ex-wife Scoobied all of my records, all of my vinyl, but that was in '98. Now all my music's on iTunes. And when I drive somewhere with my sweetie, I have it on random shuffle, and we'll go from Beethoven to Beatles to Eminem. She's like, "What is this shit?"
Right.
Well, still only hits what you just talked about.
I'm sorry?
It's still the hits. Eminem, Beethoven, the Beatles.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's a lot of works by Beethoven. I only know the 9 symphonies and the Moonlight. Is it Moonlight Sonata?
Yeah.
Else is like, Beethoven.
You should listen to the 7th. That is, I think it's the second or the third movement. It's in 4 movement.
Yes.
It's one of the most it's been featured in a lot of movies, but people always talk about the 9th indeed. But the 7th is a little more subtle is not the word, but less. Yeah, it's not in your face. It's more like it's a little bit more creepy in a way as well. Which
well, like you said, it's been featured in a lot of movies. Depending on what movie and what scenes, it can be creepy or it could be soothing. If you saw it in Knowing, near the end when they're playing it as he's driving through all the chaos, that was creepy.
Yeah.
I do love the piece. It's my favorite.
You know, it's like I don't listen. I only listen to music in the studio, and when I'm with people who I talk about music with, because I figured that like if I travel and I have music in my ears or whatever, like I will color the experience of reality. Whereas like if I listen to sad music, then it will be a melancholic or sad journey. If I listen to uplifting music, and I'm too old for that now. I want to experience reality.
Yeah.
And that's just me. I'm not like passing judgment on anyone who does anything different than me.
Oh yeah.
But,
I think music is a universal way of connecting to each person's universe. And speaking of music, we have one in the audience. Hello, Burns. Burns is a musician. You see, I'm reading the private. Okay, good. Everything's okay. All right. I have a hard time keeping up the chat and the conversation. So if I seem like a senile geezer, it's probably because I'm a senile geezer.
I don't know how long you've been doing that. I've been doing it for 4 years now on my channel, and still learning new tricks.
Yes, I just learned it yesterday or the day before about starring. If there's somebody's chat that I want to reach after the conversation's done, now I know how to start. Thank you. I think it was Killen that showed me that.
I was going to say Killen must have told you that because he showed it to me a little while ago.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Yeah.
So what kind of music do people listen in the army?
Well, that was wild. When I was in Army basic training in '82, we didn't have any music in basic training. So
You're not allowed to?
not during the training, but as we approached graduation day, suddenly we got our pay and we were allowed to hit the PX, and everyone got a boombox. And so the open bay barracks is just filled with
Competing boombox.
we had rap, we had country, we had rock and roll, we had classical. And I like all of these musics, but everyone's playing it loudly, trying to compete with their neighbor or their bunkmate. It's like
So you're in the army.
I'm sorry.
And all the guys are in the army, which is supposed to be the biggest organized thing, and you have this big chaos. That is the atmosphere.
It was very chaotic. So the next payday, I got myself a Walkman where I could actually put headphones on and listen to my music.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know what Walkmans are nowadays, but younger folks.
It's kind of like
a boombox
or an iPhone. Part of the tech, yeah. That's true. We might have some younger folks in here.
What is the threshold for young?
Pardon?
What is the threshold for young?
Probably anything under 40, I say.
It keeps changing for me.
Yeah, it does. It does.
I'm not sure how to describe young because I was always more of a Freudian.
A what?
That was just for me. Yeah, I know. Sometimes they're just for me.
Using fancy words.
Oh, and Burns still uses iPods. Wow.
I still use my mini disc players.
Right. I think Holly has one. But everything's on my darn phone or my iPad.
Yeah, the mini discs were
I have 8-track.
There you go.
I did use one. I think it's weird.
What's weird? Oh, youth.
No, I think it's weird the whole term, the vinyl community. Since I grew up, and that's all music was on vinyl.
Yeah, for a long, long, long time. I don't know how long vinyl's been around. Yeah.
Well, you were one of those 8-track.
I know
you were. You had to be one of those 8-track guys.
I said that already, but people were talking over me. But yeah, because it's just sort of strange now to think, "Ooh, that's a special thing," you know.
Yeah, it's like you used to be able to metric to barometer who's young and who's not by the manners, but now you got all these boomers who are talking over each other and who have like zero etiquette, zero. I know you think God knows what I'm talking about, but I'm 47. My girlfriend, who's 37, she called me a boomer, even if I'm not, and I still listen and discover brand new music from today that is not looking at the past but looking at the future. And yeah, so it's just the body that is like, your body is old, your mind is as long as you keep building connections by exposing yourself to new stuff, then you will still be young to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Back to the youth thing, as I was explaining earlier, it does seem to change. Just an anecdote. When I was a buck sergeant in the Army, a lieutenant colonel or a colonel seemed like an old man. A first sergeant seemed like an old man. Now that I've been a civilian for longer than I was in the military, when I walk around, I live not far from the Pentagon, not far from Fort Belvoir. So I see a lot of people in uniform. When I see a colonel or a first sergeant, I'm thinking, man, that kid looks so young. It's just.
So when you're in the Army, it's for life, I guess.
No, I did. I have 4 years. Well, 2.5 years National Guard, 4 years Navy, and 10 years Army. I didn't
No,
retire.
but when I say for life, it's like you say that you've been out of the military for longer than you've been in, and you still identify or as a sergeant and stuff like that.
Yeah,
It's just the name you use, right?
Yeah. When I first hit the internet and chat forums, I picked the name OSARGE, Osarge. I carried that over because of my split server. So I was a little bit older than most E5s when I made Sergeant. So they called me Old Sarge because I was older. I was like 26 instead of 22. And I just carried that name over into the internet. And as the internet evolved, so did my online name, Old Sarge. Yeah. The young troops come in now just out of the Army. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. Different weapon systems. They don't even have to polish their boots anymore. They have these suede boots. But I don't envy the stuff that they've gone through in the last 2 wars. So I'll count my blessings.
2 wars only? Like
Yeah.
only
Well,
the last 2 wars?
I guess they call it the global war on terrorism, but Iraq and Afghanistan, thank God I didn't have to participate in those.
I went to Afghanistan in 2003 or 4 for my job.
Mm-hmm.
I was working for the French National Archive at the time, and my job was just to prepare. I was working communication, so my job was to go there to prepare the visit of my boss, basically.
Yeah.
And basically, France was gonna give away 10,000 hours of footage, archival footage of Afghanistan, and give them also infrastructures to produce new footage in exchange for exclusivity of access of what they do or something. And funny thing is, I landed there after like a pretty long journey, or so it felt, and they took me to a jeep, and we drove. I had no sense of orientation there, and I'm good at orientation, but I had no idea if we were going south, yeah. And after 6 hours, we do a little break in the middle of nowhere, and I get shot in the leg.
Oh Lord!
It was like a loose bullet of very small caliber by kids who were like, it was so stupid, but because of that, they decided to ship me back right away.
Oh.
And they shipped me in like a military plane, which was the first time I went in such a plane, and I was like on a sort of bench with morphine, with like strap-ons on me, which was totally unnecessary. And the only other passenger in the area was an American guy who worked for Hollywood, and whose job was to go to document war wounds for makeup artists. And during 2 hours, he was showing this on the screen while I was like agonizing and angry.
Oh wow!
So, not a good experience, but a fun story retrospectively.
Yeah.
You're the second person on YouTube I've met that's not military but took a bullet in the global war on terrorism. I'm like, I feel like such a slacker. I was a soldier and I never took a bullet. Actually, I'm glad I didn't.
It might have been kids who were hunting, or it was so weird. Like, it was like I got shot like right in the ankle, I think it's called, no, or like right over the foot.
Yeah, wow. Is it all healed? Are you able to walk? Run?
Yeah. That was 20 years ago. I only have like the only way to tell now is like a brown area in the skin but I was, because I didn't want to go originally. When my boss told me you have to go and do that, I was like, I don't want to. I don't have a passport. It's no problem. We'll fix that for you. We're the French state.
Yeah.
And I didn't want, because I have I'm not a coward, but I'm not dumb. I have
I hear you. I do hear you. By the way, for the American audiences, remember back in what was it, 2003, 2004, when a lot of folks were mad at the French because they wouldn't get involved in Iraq with us.
Oh yeah,
at
the
that
freedom
time,
fries.
At that time, yeah, freedom fries. At that time, the French had a bigger contingent in Afghanistan than we did, and we were responding to an attack. So next time you want to dunk on the French, remember that. Remember that they are so well endowed they can't get over the pole vault.
And you know, when you hear an American go like, "Oh, France, where would you be if we didn't save your ass in the Second World War?" Well, where would America be if Lafayette didn't give weapons to the revolution, the first one?
My favorite line in the musical Alexander Hamilton. Hamilton and Lafayette meet up just before the Battle of Yorktown, and they're going over the victories, and they say, "Immigrants, we get the job done."
You know, funnily enough, Lafayette is not a massive major figure in France.
Right.
People know him, but I know, but like, we know him, we kind of know his history, but not really. Like, he's the ultimate survivor because he was there during the French Revolution, which was bloody, and most people who had like high positions there didn't make it, but he did. And he dreamt of a national destiny, but then came Bonaparte, Napoleon, and it all changed things for him. So when he went back to the US and did his like farewell tour, he was kind of like for his ego, because he was like a nobody in France, and he toured was that the 13 states back then, or was there more? Like in
13 colonies at the time. Yeah.
13 colonies declared independence. Did we gain 2 more before we signed the Constitution?
No, we started with 13, I'm pretty sure.
I get into political arguments about our age. Everyone says 1776. I'm like, no, we were 13 groups who disassociated the king. We weren't a united nation until the Constitution was ratified. But that's just my opinion.
1789.
I'm sorry?
Before that, we were 1789 Constitution. Right. Before that, we were a confederacy, and everybody forgets that.
Yeah, but 1789 is when the Constitution was written, but it was ratified in 1790, I think.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Either way, it's not 1776. We still had to fight for it in 1776. But I think by the time we became a constitutional republic, I think we had more than 13. I'd have to Google it.
Yeah.
We never got Canada on board. What the hell, Canada?
A funny thing about constitution in the US from a European perspective, especially like France, a country that we had our 5th constitution since the revolution at the same time, and we want the 6th one. So how many articles are there in the US Constitution?
There are, correct me if I'm wrong, I think there's 3 articles, and then there's 26 amendments.
20.
No, there's more. Like basically, some amendments become part of the rights. I think there's like, I'm not sure, but I think there's about like 31 or something.
Right. Amendments are different from an article.
There is
the articles describe the function of each government and the amendments. I'm sorry?
There is like 10 or 11 articles, I think. And then the rest are amendments.
No. I forget the number of articles, but the amendments are separate from the articles. I mean,
there's 27 amendments.
27?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you were correct, yeah.
Okay.
That's what I thought it was.
It's funny how, like, it's funny how people, like, kind of confuse, like, when with the Second Amendment, how people are so crazy about that in the US.
Yeah,
and like, we are the constitutional originalists. Well, it's called an amendment, which means it was not in the original one. It's an add-on. It's a patch.
That's true.
You're not an original constitutionalist if you are like putting an amendment before the whole thing. But the thing is that I read some place recently that there's been like 36,000 amendments voted, and only like 36 or like less than 40 that were passed, and only like 29 that are written in the Constitution.
We just had someone enter the chat. Do you remember when I said I've known 2 civilians now who took bullets? Izzy is the other one on YouTube. Yeah, she's from Iraq, or she's an American citizen now, but she's from Iraq, and she also was wounded in combat.
All right. Well, my wound was like, it's a joke. Yeah, let's be honest about it.
I bet it wasn't a joke at the time. I mean, I'm glad you can laugh about it now, but
yeah, but I didn't even get any sort of disability or anything. I didn't get anything for that, so it is a joke. But no, it was like.
By the way, just to bring this all back together, there were 7 articles. We always think of the major 3 that talk about the legislative, the executive, and the judicial. There were 7, and then right away there was the first 10 amendments to Bill of Rights, and now there are 27. And I think your number of how many were voted on is probably way off. There may have been a lot proposed over the years that never actually came up for a vote.
And I think there's about out of the plus, in addition to these 27, there's about 10 other ones that have never been ratified. So that are kind of
well, yeah, there's the Equal Rights Amendment's been hanging out there forever.
Yeah, right on the edge. Yeah.
So when you think about it, like 230 years to write only about about 40 pieces of text.
Yeah.
And holding tight to these things. I mean, sorry if people think I'm making light of this, but I am making light of this a little bit. But
it's fine. These conversations can be contentious in certain audiences. I think we're okay here.
We're good.
I disagree on counting 3 or 7, but I think we're okay here. Anyone in the audience upset at what we're saying?
If you can't criticize and can't make fun of your friends, how can you be friends?
Yeah, very, very good. Very, very true. Oh, I'm sorry, Steve. That's right. I heard Steve Cousins from New Zealand had a personal loss recently. I'm sorry. I own guns and I haven't hurt anyone with them. Keep it up. Don't hurt anybody with them.
So far.
Yeah.
I mean, owning guns is not a problem. It's just that not everyone need or should own guns, and very few people should. In my opinion.
It can be a very contentious debate here in the States. Do we own guns for hunting? Do we own guns to defend ourselves from a tyrannical government? Do we own guns to protect ourselves from home intruders? People argue different ways. I do believe the amendment was intended for, and I know people will push back on this, was intended when we didn't have a standing army to get an army raised up quickly. I don't think
a well-regulated militia being necessary for the security of a free state. That's the first thing it says, a well-regulated militia, which basically today is the National Guard. And all these people who say it was the Second Amendment was so we could protect ourselves from our own government are crazy. That's something that was invented by the NRA. That's a bunch of bullshit. All you need is common sense. Who is going to take over a country and then say, you know what? We want to make sure that you can kill us anytime you want to.
Yeah, you
well, I'll disagree, and we'll leave it at that. It's all good.
No, but think about it. Like, if that was really the case, that would mean it would be a legal excuse to insurrect. Like, if you feel that the government is tyrannical, that's an opinion thing. There can't be any really objective parameter to that. Like, if you say you feel like that, you could make a case that because of the Second Amendment, because it's there, it should be legal to try to insurrect, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I get. Who gets to decide when the government's being tyrannical? Who makes that decision?
In a more realistic level, I have friends in Texas and in New York who own guns, and their rationale is the worst one. It's a real one, and I understand them. But when you think you need to own guns to protect yourself from the police, I think you need to change the whole system, the whole constitution, and, and start from go back to the start.
Well, the government is supposed to be the people. Here.
Yeah. And it is. It is. You're not born into an elite system where you don't have to be born into an elite system to be a county clerk or someone who runs for Congress or even a president.
Yeah, you can't inherit it.
Pretty interesting presidents who weren't born into an elite system. I think Barack Obama, people love him, people hate him, but no one can say he was born into an elite system. The guy was born of pretty common.
Yeah, but some people say he was born in Kenya, though. But
oh yeah, Kenya or Indonesia. Yeah, we've heard them all.
Very. Yeah.
By the way, I've watched this a guy on YouTube, a journalist, who made a pretty strong case about the fact that the interpretation of the Constitution that only someone born in the U.S. could apply for presidency is
Right.
actually could be disputed with success. That it's something that when you say one thing over and over and over and over for 200 years, it becomes reality. But like when you go back and look exactly at the technicalities, interpretation again here.
Yeah, that repetition thing. There is some truth behind that. Anyone hear of a guy named Paul Revere? Famous ride from Boston to Lexington, warning the world that the British were coming. Actually, he was one of several riders, and he got caught twice. And his ride was much shorter than the other names. One of the other names has kind of an Arabic-sounding name, and he never got a poem written about him. But we hear about Paul, the silversmith. I'm sorry, someone was saying something?
No, I'm just saying, yeah, that is true. I guess his name actually rhymed with the poem, so they kind of went with that.
This is my children you shall hear the midnight ride. Oh, okay. Someone wants to explain to me, and I don't know if it's true or not, that poem was written at the time of I think somebody was running for office, and not Paul Revere himself, but they were trying to get the name recognition up. I can't remember the whole story.
Well, it was written by Longfellow. I think he was in the 1800s. Let me see.
I'm not entirely sure. I heard the story once. I can't remember who it was that they were trying to beef up, like like the John McClane movie right before he started trying to run for president.
Yeah, Longfellow was born in 1807.
Okay.
So he obviously wasn't around for it.
Yeah.
Are you talking about Hanoi Hilton? The John McClane movie. Are you talking about Hanoi Hilton?
I'm talking about Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, the guy who wrote The Midnight Ride of Paul Revere.
Oh, okay. And what's his name? Longfellow?
Yeah, Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. He wrote it in 1860. I'm trying to see if it says anything about what you were saying, because I'd never heard anything about that.
He's apparently coming back this evening. Actually, I probably shouldn't claim that as a truth. It's something I heard. There was a comedian who did a series. He's talks in these colleges, and he's kind of correcting a lot of our misinterpretations of history. And I assume he knows what he's talking about. I actually never did my own research to verify.
Yeah, that was on HBO. I seen that. I know what you're talking about.
Okay, all right. A lot of interesting stuff out there. I really don't know if any of it's true.
Yeah, he's standing in front of a college class and he's explaining the whole thing. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry, Muckster. I'm going to announce something more fun across, I don't know what time, but Izzy's brother, who was on Izzy's show the other night, is coming back tonight, apparently.
Okay.
So if we have time, shoot, I got 2 events tonight. But I'll watch the rerun, Izzy. I will watch the rerun.
Yeah.
What time?
What's up to Hubie?
What time is it? What time are you guys doing that? We'll keep an eye on the chat for a time. Speaking of the reoccurring joke that's more fun across the street, you guys are somewhat familiar with my church controversy. I was in a small group Sunday, and I didn't realize there were several going on at the same time. But near the end, we heard a bunch of laughing down the hall, and I actually thought, I want to be in that group. There's more fun across the street. YouTube's invading my brain. 9 to 10 Central. So that's 10 to 11 Eastern. I don't know about Switzerland.
But I think what she's saying is somewhere around 9 to 10, not 9 until 10.
Oh, I'm reading it like a 1 hour show. Okay.
Yeah.
Sweden, not Switzerland. It's completely different.
Where'd you say you are?
Sweden.
Sweden.
Okay. I think I said Sweden. My bad. Yeah.
No.
You know what? Wait. No, we're Americans. We don't care.
There you go.
You know, us in Europe, often I hear people say, "Oh, Americans, they don't know anything about geography and the lands and all that." And
we don't.
Yeah, but you know what? When people say that to me, I ask them, "Well, name me the 54 states."
54 states
in Europe. In Europe.
Oh, in Europe. Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay, you got me.
And they have
but there are 54 seems way more than I would have thought.
Yeah, but there's 54, and there's a couple that are contentious. But the thing is that most American people, I would assume, can put on the map without thinking too much the 51 states, right?
50.
Yeah.
50.
Yeah, whatever.
And I wouldn't count on it.
And for me, the Sweden thing is just a phonetic thing. I know Scandinavia from the Alps. I get my S's confused. I call Alabama Arkansas and Arkansas Alabama all the time. Not because I don't know the difference, but just because the letters. It's a weird mental illness I have, I guess.
But on what you're saying about our own geography, I would be surprised if even 50% of high school graduates could correctly identify all the Midwest states. With a picture, just looking at the borders and being able to say, okay, that's Indiana, that's Kentucky, that's so close, Yeah, I wouldn't count on it. And and it's a much, much smaller percentage of Americans who can even tell you a difference a lot of times between a country in Africa and a country in Europe. We are stupid as far as the rest of the world is.
But that's my point, is that in America, I would think, because of how patriotic, whatever that means in the US, patriotic or fanatic about the US, people in the US love the US. And so I would assume that you know these things that they have in common. Whereas in Europe, like, ask anyone to put Slovenia, Bulgaria on the map. I had to train myself. And even with the US, like, I spend like one time a year, I look at the map and try to see how much I remember it and to be better at it. I don't know what purpose it has, but keeps you active a little bit.
When we were kids, we played mental games to help us learn the capital of each state. I don't think kids today can do that. I haven't played this game in years, but I think I can still do it if somebody wants to quiz me.
My school did not have that game. I wanted to mention to FMAK, he said about people thinking Utah is a separate country. True story, several years ago, New Mexico made sure they put USA on their license plates because so many Americans thought New Mexico was like northern Mexico.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Never heard of that.
Got
It's
it down
kind
to
of-
down. Wow.
Well,
Huh. But if you want to quiz me on like 3 or 4, I can. I'm pretty sure I can answer them. The capitals of each state.
What's the capital of Wisconsin?
W.
Okay, this is the new channel is going to be totally clean. There's no ban list in that.
All right.
I'm sorry.
oh, we lost them.
No, I
Awesome.
kicked him for that stupid joke.
You'll never lose me. You might hide me behind a coffee cup, but you'll never lose me. Missouri, M.
It doesn't really. Those states don't matter. We're not going there. So
Oh, she's quizzing me on my capital knowledge.
the states you need to know are all on the coast, all East Coast and West Coast. That's it.
Oh yeah, we don't care about the flyover country. Right?
Yeah, basically everyone lives on the coast, so
Oh, righty
the
then.
part's kind of empty.
wait, do you consider Michigan and Ohio coast then, because of the lakes?
Oh yeah, Ohio does have a
Yeah, it's
coast.
a little different there. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're basically, if you're on the Great Lake, you're bordering Canada, so
Yeah.
you're pretty much half a foreigner already, and you're the worst kind of foreigner because even though you're half Canadian, you're not all that polite.
A.
I just did it twice. Sorry. Yes, there's lots of links in there now for the StreamYard. It is open panel.
How long do you guys want this to go?
I'm sorry.
How long are we going?
I don't know. Izzy, I want you to meet Kamala's R1. Who
People
also
call me usually call me Stunty. That's
call you what?
Hi, Stunty.
hello.
Stunky.
How are you?
I'll change it.
You guys share some common ground, and you both took bullets in the war on terrorism as non-military.
For the U.S.?
Well, I don't. He was more for the French, but yeah, for the global
Oh.
war on terrorism. Yeah.
For the common goal, right? Yeah.
No,
So,
mine, as I was explaining, it was not really. I was just on an official trip in Afghanistan to prepare the visit of my boss, who worked for the state, and I took a loose bullet in the leg. Like it was.
oh, yeah.
It was not
Yours
really
is nothing. That's like a bug
nothing.
bite.
Exactly. That's what I said. I
I'm
didn't
just
even
kidding.
get like a pension for that or something. So
I'm just kidding.
By the
No,
way, Stunty, if you put your channel link in the private chat, we'll plug it for you in the main chat. And
that's fine. Mine is just a music channel. It's
well,
like
Oh, that's okay, though. A lot of people like music.
yeah.
yeah, but mine is more for people who are looking, like who are actively like buying records.
Oh,
Like
gotcha.
it's you know what? Like I'd rather have people who are subscribed to my channel for these reasons than just subscribed for numbers. Like I
That's a
don't care
good
about
point.
the numbers. It's
Yeah, that's a good point.
like
So, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
no, it's just like subscribers don't do nothing. It's views that do something. So if you subscribe to support but don't watch the videos or the streams, then and if they're not for you, what I do, then you shouldn't subscribe.
Yeah, I agree. I'm learning more about YouTube, and to your point, I'm hoping, I'm trying to share as much as I can about just, what happened and what's going on with, some of us who suffered in the war, and, and hopefully we get to educate somebody and inspire somebody, hopefully. Anyway, but to your point, the numbers are just numbers, right? But Sarge, you did not know the capital of Missouri?
No one does.
Huh?
No one does. We don't. We don't.
Why not?
St. Louis. Is
Why?
it St.
I don't
Louis?
live there.
No, it's not St. Louis.
Okay. I always sucked at geography, actually.
Ah, really?
Yeah.
Oh, you have
I-
to. It's
I,
not something you
loved
naturally
history.
suck at. It's you have to put yourself through it, or otherwise everyone is sucking at geography if you don't.
Now-
But yeah, it wasn't the subject I was interested in. So
There you go.
Yeah. Now I will say this.
I passed the class and moved on.
It's
I-
either
yeah,
M or Jeff.
exactly.
I don't know.
Exactly. There you go. I had to learn it when I was in school, and then after that, I just unlearned it because it's not important to me.
I can tell you the capital of Pennsylvania.
There you go. So,
What did FAK say about my voice?
I have no idea.
About your voice.
Oh, I see it
Is
now.
your voice a little hoarse?
Yeah, I was
Sounds okay.
yelling. I was yelling at
Yeah.
certain people to wake up so I can get them to their orientation.
It's back to school soon.
Yeah.
Oh, in fact, the man says JC. I say it's M, but yeah, he's going to try and pretend like it's Jefferson City or something like that.
It is Jefferson City, but anyway, I was trying. Anyway, it's been an eventful morning and night, but yeah, I'm disappointed that you guys didn't know the capital to Missouri.
For me, it's a joke. Any state you name, I'll state the capital letter. New York has 2, N and Y.
Yeah.
Virginia is V. Pennsylvania is P. But I don't think people were laughing at my joke. I thought it was funny. Deep in my heart, I know I'm funny, but the rest of you, I don't.
Izzy, are you in Missouri? I mean, Missouri. Yeah, that time. That
Yes.
Missouri.
You know, I think Sargent is the only one who thinks he's funny.
Oh.
Yes, that is true.
So does Muck.
Well, if you laugh
That's
inside,
true too. So same with Muck.
if you laugh inside, it's still a laugh, and laughing is good for the heart. So
it is.
That is true. That's a good point.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. The hell with the rest of you.
That is a good point. But yeah, so what's going on, Jammin'?
A long time no see. Yes, Jammin's been very quiet today.
You did, Jammin'?
Jammin'?
Yeah,
Are you with us?
Jammin'.
Jammin'?
so he's not even there.
It's never quiet.
No, yeah. Okay. So how many states do you think we have, Sarge?
I think we have 50. I think we need Puerto Rico and Washington, D.C. added. But no one agrees with me on that, except for Puerto Rico and Washington, D.C.
Nice.
We have states with smaller populations than either of those, and they get senators.
Let me ask you this. Which one is the biggest state?
The largest state, I think.
Population or
no, size-wise.
I think Texas is the biggest.
Alaska.
It's Alaska.
Oh my gosh, it's Alaska.
It's not even here. It's not even here.
Oh, okay.
It's not even where.
It's not even connected to us.
We call that the continental United States there.
Well,
it actually is. We just haven't invaded and taken over Canada yet.
Okay, that's what we need.
We'll get there.
Alaska was bought, so
yes,
you need to invade everything. You can just put the cash on.
Other states were bought. There were other states that were bought also.
But
the Louisiana Purchase covers quite a few states.
Yeah, it does.
The globe is represented on a flat map. It looks like Greenland is about the same size as Africa. It's not. I always assumed that was the same with Alaska. It just looks better because the way they stretch the latitude and longitude. It really is larger in landmass than Alaska.
Yes, much.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel.
All right. What about the smallest?
Rhode Island.
I believe that. Yep.
Okay.
Hopefully,
is that your
somebody
final
DC.
answer?
Oh yes, Senator Palin could see Russia from Alaska.
Which is the best state?
Russia.
I would say the state of incomprehension.
Wait, is Hawaii bigger than smaller than Rhode Island?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It's bigger.
Hawaii, actually the
Lo-
biggest island's way
Well,
bigger than Hawaii.
Okay.
Rhode Island and Puerto Rico about the same
Can I be
size. Puerto
heard?
Rico's not that big.
but nobody cares about Puerto Rico.
Yes, I understand
Yeah.
that. That's why we're in that
It's full of
situation.
it's
that
full
we're
of
Am I
in.
heard?
it's full of Mexicans, and nobody likes Mexicans.
No, it's
Yeah.
come on, guys. It's filled with summer house, vacation house by rich Americans.
Of course.
I never understood it. Puerto Rico has more American citizens than the state of North Dakota. Why does North Dakota get 2 senators and Puerto Rico get 0? I just.
Well,
I
they don't count. They do have them. I think they don't count. You better look that up, Sarge.
I'm with you. I'm with you on statehood for Puerto Rico. I think DC would be a complicated thing.
No one cares about DC. All right, so then this is for Sarge. Nobody answer. What are the largest 3 states? You already said Alaska.
The largest what?
3.
Hello?
3.
Oh, okay. I guess Alaska, Texas, and California.
Oh, wow, you did get it right. I was shocked. Are you cheating?
Is jamming back?
Hey, Jet. Hey, Jet. How you
Easy.
doing?
Didn't Trump buy Greenland? So the Greenland would be part of the free.
Oh, Greenland's not a U.S. state. It's
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay.
He's making a Trump joke, and
Trump.
Jet was trying to talk. He doesn't get a chance.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm
sorry,
sorry.
Jet.
Go ahead, Jet.
We were just dunking on you for not talking, and when you do talk, we talk over you. So I'm going to shut up now. You won't even know I'm here. I will stop talking, and it'll be like I'm not even here. So go ahead and talk when I shut up. And okay.
Wow. That got awkward quickly.
I'm sorry, Jam, and I'm looking forward to you talking. I'm sorry we talked over you. You there?
All right, then I'm gonna ask them worldwide, and then I have to go soon.
I got it up.
Oh, okay. Hi, Jet.
Hello, everyone. Man, that was good. I'm doing well. Everything's good here. Quiet. Just changed the diaper a little while ago, and now just hanging out.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha. That's where you were. Fun stuff.
Oh, yeah. 62 years old, still changing diapers.
I remember those days. Actually, it was like, for me, it was just what? 5 years ago. Just about.
Yeah. My son's 23 and I'm still changing diapers. And
Okay, so now,
what's up?
go ahead. No, I was gonna ask a worldly question, and then I gotta go in literally like 6 minutes. 7 minutes. All right. What's the biggest country in the world? The largest country?
The Russian Federation.
Australia.
No, it's Russia.
It's Russia. What about this?
Yeah, Russia.
What
You're
about
right.
the second largest? Let's ask our new friend from Sweden.
Oh,
The second largest would outside of the US would be Brazil.
The
Really?
US is
I was
not.
thinking China.
It's Canada.
Oh yeah.
Of course.
which is why we have to invade it and take it over. They have oil.
What about the third?
Well, then it's either the US or Brazil.
Australia.
You want me to give you the typical American answer?
What?
Honest to God, I think at least 40% of America would say Africa.
No, the third is. Anybody want to take a guess?
The third largest.
I think China's bigger than Australia.
Anybody?
I want to Google it.
I don't know. about
Okay,
that.
it is China. And then the fourth one.
I'm going to go U.S.
I think, yeah. Well, it's either Brazil, the US, or Australia after probably.
It's the US. What about the fifth?
Either Australia or Brazil.
It's Brazil. What about the sixth?
This is becoming tedious, easy, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I said the top 10, so we're
Oh,
getting there.
All right.
I do think Brazil is the most populous.
No,
And the
no.
reason-
China is the most populous. China and then India.
India, yeah.
In America, we
Yeah.
have millions, hundreds of millions.
Wait,
And
did I say the sixth is Australia, the seventh is India, the eighth is Argentina? Yeah,
Yeah.
Argentina. What?
Argentina.
And then the ninth is how you say that?
Kazakhstan.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a hard one. Oh, Greenland? What?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
big.
Oh, that's large.
Yeah, that's it. There you go. You are welcome.
Greenland
Sure.
holds the record of in sociology in terms of in population. I should have asked in another way. I used like these things that people said, the common sense things about humanity and people. And as I moved to Sweden, I was hearing all the time that Sweden is the country where people are the most suicidal. And you hear that until you start to think like, wait a minute, people have a great life here. It makes no sense. The fact that we have 3 months of night, if you live in the north of Sweden, would that be enough to be the most suicidal? And then you look up the statistics. Guess which is the number one country for suicide in the world? Which already is skewed because all the Catholic countries say that we don't have suicide. All the African countries say we don't have suicide. Of course they have, but
first you have to know are we talking per capita or total?
Per capita.
Okay. I'd go U.S.
I'll give you a clue. It was named in these 10 biggest countries in the world. It was one of these.
What? Greenland?
Exactly.
Really?
Did you know Alaska in America has the largest suicide rate?
Well, it's Greenland that had it, according to the statistics I've researched.
So is it the cold, do you think?
Sorry?
Do you think it's
it's the number one cause of suicide is always the same, because the second
No. I know. Do you think it's because of the cold and the lack of sun?
Yeah, I understood you. I'm saying that the number one cause for suicide is not the cold. It's always the same. And it's the reason why the number 2 country for suicide in the world is Ireland. It's booze. It's alcohol. That's the number one cause for suicide.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I knew for the states it's been Alaska. I was reading.
The more isolated you are, the more drunk you get,
Well, that
and the more suicidal you are.
Well, that's exactly. So I was gonna get to that. With
It's
Alaska,
like a depressant, yeah.
Alaska's because again they don't get as much sun as we do. It's always cold. They do drink a lot more than the other states, and the suicide rate is the highest there. Yeah.
So there's a whole question of cause and effect. Do people there drink more because of the climate?
That's what the article suggested. Now I don't know.
I live in Sweden, which is kind of the same as a lot of Alaska, and people drink a lot in Sweden, but like they drink a lot everywhere.
It's everywhere. Yeah.
But we don't I thought in the out of the Western countries, in reality Sweden was number 44 in the suicidal rate, which is very low. So I don't think it's really the lack of light and the cold, because I'm in Sweden right now. It's 27 Celsius degrees. I'm gonna go have a swim. It's 25 degrees in the water, and it's gonna be so till October. So No, we have a
27 Celsius. What's that in Fahrenheit? Does anyone
Yeah.
know?
It's
Let
pretty.
me check with my girlfriend. Hey Siri, what's 27 Celsius in Fahrenheit?
80.6 degrees Fahrenheit.
80.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It's kind of funny as a dumb American. Sometimes I watch Sky News and they do these global temperature readings and it's all in Celsius. I'm like, dang, it's cold out there. And I forget they're in Celsius.
No, but it's probably the same in Canada. Like the further north you go in the summer, the sun is up there all the time. So the water gets warm. Like in the evening or in the night, the water is usually warmer than the air.
Yeah.
But I'm certain about my population thing. Brazil does have the biggest population, and I'll explain why. America has hundreds of millions.
America has
300,
336.
Yeah,
10 or something, yeah.
China has billions. India has billions, but Brazil has Brazilians.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna
Nice.
type
Do you get the joke?
that
Did anybody
you're
get the
telling me.
joke? Somebody
Yeah.
laugh, please.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna start with easy there about your sense of humor.
So by the
Let me
way,
ask you.
the last time I was in Sweden. Oh, go ahead. So I've been to Sweden. It's been a minute. And I remember like we were eating these pickled. What are they called? Well, you guys pickle pretty much everything. Dang it! What did you guys eat for breakfast?
Oh, so many different things, but
Pickled herring?
Granola.
Yes.
Pickled herring.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we don't eat that for breakfast.
Well, we were at a restaurant. That's what they brought us.
Okay.
And yeah. And I thought, and I loved, of course, like the cheese and all that stuff. But yeah, it's been a while.
When was that you were in Sweden?
6 years ago.
And whereabouts? Do you remember? Which
We went to
city?
Stockholm.
Okay, that's where I'm in the area of Stockholm. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was it for just like a vacation, or was there like a?
Yeah, it was a vacation. So we kind of went to, let's see, we started actually, where did we start? We started in Germany.
Yeah.
And then we went to Italy. We went to, no, from Germany, we went to, I'm sorry, Netherlands, Denmark, and then Sweden.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. And then made it back. Another trip was Italy, something else, and then another trip we did France
How did you
and
travel? Did you travel by train or did you rent a car?
no, we did the train.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
that's
a
nice.
lot it was a lot faster and a lot cheaper. And then we went to Spain and I fell in love with Spain the most.
A lot of people do.
Yeah.
Spanish people are unbearable.
And Italy. Honestly, right now in Italy, they're selling homes for $1 because they are losing so many people and they want people to move in back to Italy, you know?
Yeah. I seen those
Yeah.
offers.
Yeah. We were there. It's real. And they're again losing a lot of their population. Same with Spain. Spaniards are not even having children. So the birth rate is going down.
Yeah, I lived in Italy for 3 years in the Navy.
Yeah.
In Naples. I just loved it.
I love Napoli.
Oh yeah. The food was amazing. The people.
Yep.
Our family got adopted by an Italian family. It was surreal.
Yeah. I loved it. Loved it.
You just mentioned the two countries in Europe, Spain and Italy, that cared less about speaking any other language than their own.
They're smart people.
Smart.
I don't think so.
They're doing it the right way. No, but honestly, so with Italy, we were just there last year and we went to like 4 or 5 different cities. Everywhere we went, we didn't have any problems. They understood us.
Italy is okay in the big cities, but Spain is horrible for language.
Really?
like go to Barcelona, like when I used to tour, I had a band, and we were touring as musicians a lot. And Spain, every time they had to have like handlers to take us somewhere or something, it was always they had to hire foreigners, because like most people in Spain, I don't know, I wouldn't assume it's a lack of talent for songs, because I don't think there's such a thing. I just think they don't care, and that their education
Well,
system is not uh, targeted. I mean, in the same, when I say that, I have to remember I'm talking to, apart from you, Easy, I'm talking to Americans, which probably is even
very
worse.
true.
Well,
No, but you're
well,
right with Barcelona. You're correct.
they do speak different dialects. They do have another language that they speak over there. I forget what it is.
Catalonia.
Yeah,
They
that's it.
Catalonian. Yep.
Yeah.
And they really do. I mean, they hate the rest of Spain. They have their own flag, and they've been trying to separate themselves from Spain forever. And, it's like a rivalry too between the two soccer teams, Madrid and Barcelona.
Well,
Um,
but a lot of that is because of the civil war. Is that
yes, yes,
Franco, the fascists, basically, you have Spain is a very odd country in Europe, in the sense that it's the only country in the 20th century that liberated themselves from their own fascist dictator through his
true,
natural death. They didn't, like Portugal. They did a revolution. Greece. They did a revolution.
true.
Uh, they kind of stood up with their fascist dictator till he died. And if you go to Madrid, and it's pretty like Spain is very racist. I mean, the closer the kind of white you are, the closer you are
Madrid.
to black, the more racist you're gonna be. And
Oh
Spain,
yeah,
I
they're
think
actually
they're fascist, but yeah.
they're known for that. Um, yeah, they're known for that. But we went to Barcelona with we had through work, and it was more again work related. It was the experience was fine, but I did notice the flags protests at the time, and I also noticed they do not like foreigners. They don't like tourists over there. Um,
well,
they were
Barcelona
doing
is a very international city, though, because it's like it was one of the biggest hub for international students in the 2000s,
yeah.
and it still is. It's just that, um, well, and you're talking about Barcelona, which is probably the least racist part of the whole of Spain, actually. So,
Yeah. No, Barcelona was so much fun, but they don't like tourists there, I can tell you that.
Yeah, my property's in the Dominican Republic. I love the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Uh, we're
I need to
building our
make it
house
out
now.
there. Yeah.
what's the local language?
Spanish.
Spanish.
What
Is
kind
it
of Spanish?
Spanish?
Yes. 100%.
I thought it was Portuguese.
No.
Portuguese is
Portuguese
only
is Brazil.
Brazil, yeah.
and one
No.
other country.
Well, yeah, it's Brazilians speak Brazilian Portuguese, but
Yeah.
they have
Well, yeah,
this.
every country has their own
Yeah,
dialects,
but
but it's still
they
Portuguese.
they like to make fun of Portugal and say that they speak the real Portuguese, but whatever.
I know
Right, except that
Portuguese people that hate that anytime someone takes a language class, they teach Brazilian Portuguese.
Yeah.
instead of Portugal.
Yeah.
It's on my list. I need to go see it. So we've seen a lot of the European countries. I have a cousin in Finland I want to go to and visit. And, it's
Finland, have you ever been there?
no, but every time he shows me like the, videos and how cold and the snow, and I'm like, gosh, I don't know if I want to go.
Finland, compared to Sweden, which is kind of parallel, so it's the same climate, but Finland is more flat, more swamps, and less, like, it's kind of the same everywhere. It's My sister is with she just came back from Finland. Her partner from there. It's a very odd culture. They have
Yeah.
the only language in the world that like linguists they can't 100% agree on where does this language fucking come from. It sounds very very special. Like for me, French learning Swedish, at first it sounds a little bit different, but all the technical words in English and most language come from French. Like
Yeah.
yeah, I just have to if I don't know, I just try. Like psychiatrist, un psychiatre, mécanique, mécanicien. Like it's all coming from like 35% of the English language is coming directly from French. So when you don't know, you can improvise. With Finnish, there's no connection to anything.
Yeah. It's on the
Well,
list. We'll see.
France, Italy, Spain, Portugal, they're all Romance languages.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah,
France
they come from the Latin. They come from the Latin.
Nah, we don't. But we're not gonna give that to
That's
him.
the root.
But it's funny. I love how you have on the panel like multi languages and international hub. You know, it's
So
kind of
you were
cool.
born in Iraq, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And are you is your ancestry from Iraq as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
And when you moved, was it the first war or the second one?
Well, no, the third one.
The third one, yeah. You're talking about Iran. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a girlfriend well, born in Saudi who had to move to America because of the second one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's insane. But I love him. Jamin, you speak Spanish and what else?
I'm lucky to speak English.
Oh, never mind. Then get out of here. I thought you
New
spoke
York.
Spanish and Italian.
No, I lived there.
Oh, you lived there.
Yeah.
His wife speaks Spanish. His wife
Yeah,
does.
my wife. Yeah.
Oh, that's it. And then you got Ariel. I try to say it in his dialect. I can't. I chop it every time. Ariel. Ariel, which my brother told you it means antenna in
Antenna,
Arabic,
yeah.
which is actually true. I
like
forgot that word. You speak Spanish and what?
English.
Oh, in English. And then, you have me, and then you have our new friend Stunty.
I speak French, English, German, Swedish, and therefore I understand Danish and Norwegian. And I
That's it?
understand some Spanish.
That's all you speak? That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, wait till you hear
Don't
Muckster
forget-
and Finkel and what they speak.
Well, I was going to say, don't forget Sarge because he speaks gibberish and broken English.
I speak
No, yeah.
New York. I speak Virginian. I speak a little bit of Georgian and Louisianian.
I speak Parisian. I also
Oh, that's
speak
in addition to
Parisian.
English, though, Finkel.
I'm sorry?
In addition to English.
Yeah. I have a 5 kroner piece somewhere from Norway. I probably have to dig for it.
Which language
Finkel
do you
does
speak?
speak proper English, though.
Pardon?
I said Finkel does speak proper English. Didn't you live in England over there?
Oh, yeah.
As an Air Force brat, as a very young kid, I did live in England, but they accused me of not speaking English. They said I spoke American English.
Which
You guys are
city
going to
was it
have
in
to go to
England?
the car with me.
I'm sorry?
So you guys will have to go to the car with me. So you speak British.
British. Well,
Wait,
British includes
doesn't
Welsh,
mean anything. Which city was your family based in the UK?
The Air Force Base was Woodbridge and Bentwaters. They're kind of conjoined bases. And for a while, we lived in Monudon, outside of Brandiston, which is near the towns of Ipswich and Felixstowe, the city of Ipswich and town of Felixstowe.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's any separatist movement in these cities. So it is English.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
you,
lived in Scotland for 2
language
years.
do you speak?
And I remember on the way out, some of our English friends told us, "You're the only Americans we like."
Nice.
And that's how you learned that the English are fucking liars.
I'm sorry.
That's because you was leaving. That's why they liked you.
That's why they liked, because I was
Yeah.
leaving. I was no longer a damn Yankee. I was
Yeah.
just a Yank. Oh, that's right. We were the only Yanks they liked, not Americans. They called us Yanks. That's right.
Bloody bastards.
Bloody bastards. That was funny. I was years later, as an adult, I'm in Bosnia manning a checkpoint, and a British convoy came through, and I'm checking everyone's ID, and I saw the Union Jack, so just trying to get up conversation.
Where did you say, in Bosnia?
I'm sorry?
Did you say in Bosnia?
In Bosnia, 96.
Yeah.
Being a stupid American, I forgot that the British flag is not the English flag, and I just striking up conversation. What part of England are you from? And the guy leaned out his window, spit on the ground, and says, "We wouldn't spit on the blood of English. We're from Wales."
Yeah.
Stupid Americans.
Yeah, I loved my 2 years in Scotland. That was a blast.
3 years where?
2 years in Scotland.
Oh, Scotland.
Holy lock.
I know what Ken you're talking about. I probably said that wrong. I done it, Ken, what you're talking
I
about.
think, can I interrupt? I think Izzy might be getting ready to leave.
Yes. I think she said something about the car, and
Yeah, she's on her way out to the car.
She said
Yeah,
she was
is it-
taking us to the car.
Is it okay if I stay, or are you guys gonna be
No, you-
done?
Oh, no, if you can, yeah. I thought you had to go off to get the kids out, but if you're going to stay in the car, cool.
you're always
No,
welcome.
yeah, I'm
You
just
can
gonna.
You can take us to the grocery store. You can take us to work. You can
Yeah, I'm gonna take you to work.
take us to work. Okay, all right.
I am going to leave since I want to. I'm going to
Okay,
go
stop.
have a swim. But I was curious before I go. I was curious about how many languages Izzy speaks, since she questioned all of us
Yeah.
as a detective. But
Oh,
I
I speak Arabic, speak semi Farsi, Turkish, and I understand German. I actually understand a lot of Spanish as well,
okay.
English.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
and English.
Oder verstehen Sie?
Yeah.
I was asking in German if she speaks German or if she understands German.
Ich nein sprechen Deutsch,
Mm.
or something like that.
So I understand it. Sometimes I have a hard time making the sentence and but I can like answer with several words, but I get by. When we went to Germany, I mean, hey, I was the guide, the tour guide for my family.
And what kind of Arabic is it that you speak?
Well, I speak the Iraqi Arabic, but I also understand every single dialect, like all the other Arabic countries except for Morocco.
Okay. I listen to some of the music I listen to the most is stuff like Rai from Algeria, and
Yeah.
also a lot of Egyptian music, which means
Yes.
also Lebanon. Like I have maybe 50 records from Kalsoum, and
Yes. Oh my gosh. So literally I was just listening to that yesterday while I was harvesting my farm. It's not a farm, it's just a little garden.
for those who don't know, Kalsoum is like
She's an old Egyptian icon.
she's actually Lebanese, but she made her career in Egyptia because that's where the music industry was in that region, that part of the world. So a lot of musicians from the Gulf and the South Mediterranean had their career in Cairo. And funny, most of the records were pressed in France, but
Yeah.
Lebanon, and I have a huge fascination for like Well, I'm really I make a point of listening to and getting into non-Western music. So of course, music from that, like for example, one of my favorite musicians is from Iraq, Munir. Munir, the tar player. Oh no, I'm having a brain freeze.
I have to
Munir
tell you
Bashir.
though,
Munir Bashir.
I'm not up to date with the current Iraqi
Oh, that was from
music.
the 60s, 50s, 60s, 70s. Munir Bashir.
Who?
Munir
Munir
Bashir.
who?
Bashir.
Bashir.
There's a lot of hip hop come out of there now, which sounds really good to
Oh,
me.
it's been coming out for like
Yeah,
ever, like when I was there.
yeah.
Please drop your email in the private.
Well, Stunty, before you leave, did you put your channel in the chat, or if you can, do you have one?
He said he didn't want to. He said his channel is
I
a
can. It's just
particular type.
I can. I'm
Well,
just
but
saying.
now I'm interested, especially
Yeah,
since
man, we go
involved
check it
by
out,
his-
man.
What I'm saying is just don't subscribe to my channel just to support. Like you can come and watch it, and if you want to watch it, then subscribe for sure. But like, I don't need like PT subscription. So,
Right.
You know he's doing reverse psychology, right?
No. Like
also, Stunty, let me mention this too. Make sure you subscribe to that other channel I just put over there, because next time you come, that's probably where you'll want to come to, and we'd like you to come back.
all right.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Do you guys care if you share my channel?
Sorry.
Oh no, I was asking the guy since I'm on the phone. If they
Actually, somebody shared your channel a little bit ago.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And reminder, tonight we're going to see her brother again.
Yeah, and if you're around, Stunty, my brother will probably know more about the singers you're mentioning.
Let me quickly see if I have something fun here. Like I just took randomly some records, but okay, so not the right one, but Bali, Gabon, Armenia, Burundi.
Don't forget, Stunty,
Burundi is one of
6
the
or 7 hours ahead of you.
Burundi is one of the most beautiful language in the world. I think it's Kirungi, but here's some Turkish.
Yeah. Yep. That I speak for sure.
Oh, there you go. I knew I had something.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool.
And I have tons of records like that.
I have not met anybody who, not from Iraq has that kind of stuff. This really makes my heart really happy.
Well, there you go. But
and actually
really,
cares about the art, right?
This guy Munir Bashir, he doesn't have that many records, but he is the master of tar. Tar is one of the string instruments from that region. And sometimes it sounds very like traditional, but sometimes he goes in a very like minor harmony, and it becomes really moody and almost like dark, ambient. And there's a guy from the UK who passed away in the late 90s, who's called Muslim Gaus, who did industrial music solely dedicated to the Palestine cause. So all his records are dedicated to events, historical events for the Palestinian people, and that was my entry door to Arabian scales in music. And then you make parallels, you identify these things in music that is more familiar to you with stuff that is completely alien to you. And but the more you listen to it, the more connections you find. And I know that the way of singing in Arabic, for example, my mother, she can't stand it because it depresses her. But I think it's just a matter of like crossing the bridge in a way, like understanding why it's like that, and then you don't hear it that way anymore. You just hear all the variety. But I listen to a lot of new Egyptian music as well, like or from that area, like
Yeah.
auto-tune stuff, but only on
You
vinyl.
should. Have you listened to 3
No, I don't think so.
It's a really cool. I love the melody because like the true Egyptian stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you share your email or whatever, I'll send
yeah.
it to you.
Um, mm, mm,
You would like
uh,
it.
do you have Instagram?
I do.
Well, then just like my Instagram is the same. It's Stunt Rock Confusion.
Hold on. I'm actually on my phone and I can't write it down.
His Instagram is also on a link on his YouTube page.
Yeah.
Well, I
Okay.
haven't gotten to his YouTube page. That's the problem. Yeah. I'm trying to find my computer starter as always.
I'll get it to
Uh,
you. Izzy.
oh, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But yeah, that I would and one of my little kids tried to play the whole song on the piano, which was really cool because just by listening to it, she doesn't understand anything.
All right.
Yeah.
Try to find.
All right.
Sorry for hijacking the conversation.
No, you're
Sorry.
good, man.
Yeah, same. I'm sorry, not start. Just kidding.
It's all Izzy's fault. Don't worry about it.
I'm sorry. I really am sorry.
Why? What'd you do?
Who said that, by the way?
I'm sorry?
Who
That'd be
said that?
killer.
Oh my gosh, Killen, how are you, dude? I haven't heard you in forever.
I'm doing all right. Thanks for asking. Hope you're doing okay.
I thought he
Yeah.
was going to say thanks for noticing.
Thanks for noticing.
So I'm way behind on the chats. I have not kept up very well at all. But Steve Cousins is usually here wanting cake. Now he wants people to bring him coffee in bed. What the hell, man? These people just want everything handed to them on a silver platter. Variety is always welcome. Yes, FMAK. Yes, variety is the spice to life. I agree.
And the other spice to life, and one of good reason to get into Egyptian music, huh, Sarge?
Oh, okay. This is Egyptian.
Yeah.
I'm going to take it. Walk Like an Egyptian is not on that album.
No. But it's a good song. But no, this is see, 1001 Night, a night from Beirut, a night from Baalbek, Damascus, Cairo, Libya, Baghdad, Jordan, Tunis, Morocco.
And I'm really hoping Izzy is driving with a mounted cell phone or a hands-free device of some sort.
Yeah.
But the Fifth Amendment, you don't have to tell us.
Yeah. No, that is actually just, I don't, again, I was listening, I don't know how many people can relate to that, but I was listening to Arabic music yesterday and it's like one of those, I don't know how to explain it. My brother gets it. Like, you know, I lived half of my life there, actually more than half of my life here. And then you feel like, okay, where do I actually belong, right? I don't know if any of you can relate to that.
Not too extreme, but yeah, I get it. I don't know where I belong.
It's such a weird feeling.
Yeah.
I think you well, it's probably different for anyone, but I've been living now for 11 years in Sweden, which changed me a lot, but which makes me feel even more French than I was when I was living in France.
Yeah.
I think that when you are living in another country, and like for good, because I don't think I'm not going to go back to live in France. I don't think so.
Right. Same.
You become more aware of what it is that the making of a culture that is your own. And I have a bunch of friends on YouTube, the vinyl community as well, that we do stuff together, and are French living in Australia, in Canada, in Sweden, and we understand France better than people who are in France because of that distance, like
Yeah.
understanding the philosophers and how it's not just an abstract but also part of the fabric of our cultures and all these things, um, and how we realize a lot of the more mainstream popular culture that we don't really care about, that we actually know all about it when we start to talk about it, which all the stuff you know without knowing.
Right.
So I guess you're
Yeah.
going to
There's
be
so much
Russian
more to
forever.
it. Yeah, no, and it's so complicated because there are times where I hear things, happening over in Iraq or the Middle East, and it takes me back to being resentful and, want nothing to do with it. And then there are times where, things are happening here maybe, or just like missing home, even though I really didn't have a home per se. Um, uh, then takes me back. I don't know. It's a complicated thing,
Do
you
you still
know.
have family there, like close family,
Um,
or did they all move out?
So, well, I'm one of seven. I still have a sister there. Um, she's in Kurdistan currently. Um, I have a brother in Baghdad, and the rest of us are all over the world. Three of us are in the U.S., and my parents passed away.
Can you go back to Iraq, or is it complicated?
No, gosh, no, I can't go back.
You can't, or you can?
No, 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 I
Oh,
couldn't.
okay.
Yeah, yeah, I wish.
It would be
Um,
dangerous, you mean?
I think it would be kind of nice not to live there, but to go back and just I wish I could like go back and show my children,
But it would
like
be
where
dangerous to go there for
oh
you?
gosh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But maybe someday when I don't know, maybe things get better and I can take my kids and show them where, everything started and civilization and everything,
Yeah, yeah, that's true. A lot of civilization is coming from there. Yeah,
you know.
it's just a shame to see is I yeah, the millions of people who died for nothing there in the past like 25 years. It's
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say for nothing. I mean, we were freed from Saddam, so that's a plus.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
fair enough. Yeah,
yeah.
but
Because,
they
and I mean, I
didn't.
don't,
Most people didn't die to. Most Iraqis who died, they didn't die because of um, the sort of plan to free Iraq from Saddam. I
right.
don't think so. I think that was like potentially a byproduct of what happened,
Yeah.
positive or not. But I'm 47, so I'm young, but I still remember when in the late 80s when Saddam was kind of well, he was the Western leader of the region. He was the one who was talking and who had like, and Iraq was secular back then as well,
Yeah.
or so they said. I wasn't there to
Yes, you're
verify.
right.
So, what changed Saddam into what he became? Well,
Um,
I think it has something to do with three letters, as usual.
yeah. And again, the U.S. supported him and supported Iraq with the Iraq-Iran war. You know, they
Well,
actually supported
they
Saddam.
it's not that they supported Saddam, it's more that they used him and Iraq in their proxy war against.
Well, yeah, I would like to say supported Saddam against Iran, but I know they were against Iran and used
Because
Saddam because he's an idiot.
in that case, Iraq attacked Iran with weapons provided by the US, but they thought they would win. Like when you
The,
study history,
the
Iraq
U.S. The
really.
U.S. The U.S. has a long history of supporting the enemy of my enemy, and it usually works out for the worst for us.
Yeah.
Well, but you know, it's funny. You say Iraq started it, and then you know, Iran would say Iran started it, and then both parties claim victory, you know, at the end, which is even
Yeah. No,
more
you're correct.
crazy,
But
you know.
technically, Iraq invaded Iran.
Yeah,
The 10-year war started with Iraq going into Iran.
right. And that was what, whoever the president was here in the US, that was part of their plan.
Well, it was Jimmy Carter. It started in 1979 and ended in 89.
See,
With
again, another foreigner knows more about the US. What is that? What's
well,
happening?
I do have an interest in Jews matters, so it's not just casual.
No, that's awesome, actually, because sometimes people are unaware, uninformed, and they make their own, you know.
Unformed or misinformed. Sorry, I heard part of
Right.
that. The Secretary of Defense and former oil man Dick Cheney, during the Iran-Iraq war, wanted to build a pipeline from Iraq across to the Mediterranean, and still very bitter about the Iran hostage situation, got his nose in, just like he did later on when he was mad at Hussein, and now he's the vice president. His name is Dick Cheney. His first name is very self-descriptive, and I may be
The
misinformed.
hostage situation started during Carter's reign and ran into Reagan's. Yeah.
And at that time, Mr. Cheney was a back and forth between congressman and in the energy business, a big stockholder in the energy business. Not one of America's prouder moments.
Well, you also have in America like a Peace Nobel Prize winner who's responsible for more deaths than in the world than maybe Hitler and Stalin combined. Like who's
Which one?
100% responsible for the genocide in Indonesia. His name is Kissinger, if you don't know, but
I'm sorry, I keep jumping in. I'm reminded of a conversation I heard on one of the, not ours, but one of the other streams recently. I can't remember which one or where, but they were arguing about whether or not Hussein had weapons of mass destruction, biological and chemical. Yes, he did, and they were marked "Made in USA." Just my opinion again. I may be misinformed.
No,
And
I
Kissinger
don't
was
know.
the Nixon.
Huh?
Go ahead.
Oh, I
I was
don't
just
know
saying
if they.
Kissinger was the Nixon administration.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I don't know if the weapons had, you know, a sign that says made in the US or whatever, but we did have them.
Yeah.
And
Well, yeah.
and a lot
the
of it was
question is easy. I think the question is more like in what capacity, because in the end, the military didn't find any in the capacity that was announced.
because they were smuggled to Syria and they were used in
Mm.
Syria, as we saw.
He used
You
them
know,
against the Kurds, so we know he had them.
yeah, he used them against the Kurds. I mean, he
Yeah, but
wiped, what
but
is it
the way
called?
it was described to us, of course, like they used gas, chemical weapons during World War One. I mean,
Right.
like these things exist.
Right.
The
British.
way it was
And they were
described to us,
outlawed after World War One.
What's
yeah.
that?
Muckster, what did you say?
I said they were outlawed after World War I because so many people came home from that war with destroyed lungs from mustard gas that all of the countries agreed we are not doing that again.
Right. And
Outlawed by organization not recognized by the US. Yes, indeed.
then all the
So,
people ended up having weird cancer, not not that long after. And we actually do have a lot of that in Iraq. We have a lot of cases of cancer. Both my parents died from cancer, and then it's like it was like every other, literally almost every family had somebody with cancer, and we were really young too.
yeah, they were not like 85 years old dying of cancer.
No, young, like
Oh.
really young. My mom was 42, you know, um, and it just, yeah. So I know for sure we had them. Like, I know for sure we did have them. I don't know how much of it did we have. I don't know
That's the thing, yeah. But the thing is, chemicals, everyone has them. And you guys know how the Contras were financed by the CIA. So George
Yeah.
Bush Sr., who was director of the CIA during the Vietnam War, well, they needed money, black money, to finance to buy all these weapons to give away to fascist militias in South America, or to give them to the revolutionaries in Iran. And
It's known as the Iran-Contra affair over
yeah,
here. Yes, it's no big secret.
yeah, but like
Ollie
people
North.
talk openly that the CIA basically created the situation where crack was introduced to the streets in the US so that they would have black money in order to finance all that. That has been declassified by the what's it called, that foundation. Like, it's still controversial, but there is a lot of
So, but
people
is
who
there
have,
actually proof of that? Is there proof, or is this just
you
like
know
people
how
are
it is
saying that?
nowadays with proof. You know how it is with proof now, especially in topics like that. But like,
Yeah.
if you look it up and make your own mind. I wasn't there, of course, but
No, no, no,
I've
no. I
read
know
enough.
what you mean.
Mm, mm.
Yeah. But the problem is, if I look it up, there's so many different articles that are, some of them are biased,
Yeah.
some of them are,
Yeah, but no,
non-biased.
of course there's that. But then you can then look up people who have researched that during the time in the 70s, in the 80s, and
You still don't know if they're reliable, though.
Right, that's what
well,
I mean.
they
And
used to be reliable, and these things were classified, then they were declassified 25 years after. I've read 2 books about that. I'm sure you've heard about, like, the stories about corpse from dead soldiers being shipped back to the US from Vietnam with uh, heroin.
Drugs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, this is, yeah, I wasn't there. I haven't seen it, but there is a lot of studying about that and journalism around that. So of course this got suppressed. Was it true? Wasn't it?
that's funny you
Statistically,
mentioned that. Go ahead.
yeah, statistically, now it's like it's almost impossible for us to remember how it was before 2015, before Trump started this whole post-fact world, which already existed before, but not on that level. So that now it's easy for us to retroactively think like we do now, like for something that happened 40, 50 years ago. But
Yeah, it's always been there, but I have to say, so that argument came up, and my father-in-law served Vietnam. He's a Vietnam vet. He's actually a Marine. We were talking about the whole drug thing, and you know, and he'd said, I mean, that's according to him. I mean, he's alive and well today, and he said that was made up. You know, um, but and I don't know. There is another a neighbor of mine. His name is Pete. He's also my father-in-law's age, and every time I see him, we talk about the wars and whatnot. Again, he would say no, that never happened, and he actually gets very offended too because those are his people that died, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
so I
some
don't know,
people, yeah.
honestly. I don't know. I don't know. And it just, to your point, we're gonna just hear all kinds of stuff, and now it's hard to retract things, and the whole world and the nastiness existed way before Trump, way
But
before Trump.
the thing is that there are people who have a vested interest and people who have an emotional interest in not finding that out.
Right.
Because that would be too hard to learn that the death of their friends and brothers was just a cover-up for something way more cynical. The thing is that the Vietnam War for the US lasted about, what, 10 years?
I don't know. I don't remember.
It's
I
like
was,
65 to 75 officially, I think.
It's kind of hard to pin it when each president from Eisenhower to Nixon campaigned on staying out of Southeast Asia, and each one grew until Nixon fully pulled us out. At what point were we at war without a declaration? Kind of hard to say. But yeah, we went from helping the French to replacing the French to.
But the replacing the French
to fight in the war.
to the end, like I think I remember. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there's like 26,000+ American soldiers who died during that war, which is a lot, but also very little considering the how many Vietnamese people died and the length of the war. Like at one point, I remember when September 11 happened, and I remember the journalist telling us that there's potentially 20,000 people in these towers. And I was thinking, in one day, the US may lose more people than during the whole of the Vietnam War. Which.
That's a good point. A lot of people on September 12th kept saying, "Where was God? Where was God?" And you reminded me of something. Those towers had 20 or 30,000 people in each, and the total loss was around 3,000.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that's where God was. He saved 47,000 people, roughly.
Yeah, but from my point of view, I look at it the other way around. If you're going to give God credit for that, then why did he kill the other 3,000? Why do children all over the world get cancer and all that? So I don't want to hear about God saving people. I don't want to hear about God deflecting a bullet from Trump so it could kill a retired firefighter.
Oh, I don't believe in that. I don't believe that God, but I believe God gave people free will, and the people chose to ride the airplanes and do what they did, not God. Okay.
Well,
so we were not made robots. We were made with a free will.
I think that mistakes are common with a dyslexic dog.
Dyslexic dog. Oh, yeah, that's fair, Muckster. How much does he, she, it, or they actually get involved in human events? I guess what I'm trying to point out is it could have been a lot worse. It was bad. Don't get me wrong. It was bad, and there had to be a response. It could have been a lot worse.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, it could have
and
been
I mean, to me, bottom line. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just thinking about if you think about the cultural, emotional scar and charge and open wound that Vietnam War was, that lasted 10 years, and we had in one day almost as many people who died, which means it's a bigger trauma, but in the grand scheme of things, it's sorry for those who lost someone there, but in the grand scheme of things, it's just a small event.
I think it's ridiculous to make those kind of comparisons.
Yeah, but no, yeah.
No, but in the sense of it impacted
it wasn't. They weren't in the war. They weren't in a war. Like it's
Yeah.
not fair to say. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but war.
You know, I mean, like
war on a foreign soil with soldiers being mobilized, or not just soldiers, but like civilians being mobilized and shipped over for 10 years.
Right.
That is,
right.
In my opinion, a much more civilization altering event than a horrible one-day terror attack that could have killed 50,000 people or one. Like it's the symbol is the same in a way.
The comparison.
It's not a comparison. It's more
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, except that one day was an attack
I think
in our home.
Right.
You know, that's a lot different.
And they weren't prepared for it.
Yeah, but you attacked.
You know, the difference
the
between
American Army attacked
a war
Vietnam.
you're prepared for.
The American Army attacked Vietnam in their own home for 10 years. After
yeah,
like
but you're talking about the impact. You want to talk about the impact on America, or I'm not sure what you're even trying to compare. Actually, I'm saying for us it was.
And because
I'm just saying that
Go ahead.
Before you had September 11, Vietnam was the open wound of America, and that people didn't even want to talk about, and still feel like a little bit weird about.
I don't know. Who is it to? Open wound to who?
To the society, because you had a broken society. You had people
Which
who were
society?
The Vietnamese
Are you talking global or American?
American. In America, you had people who supported the war and people who opposed the war in very radical ways.
But that's literally every war, though.
Not maybe, but I don't think it was on that scale. Like for 10 years, like there's very few wars in American history before that lasted that long.
Well, no, that's not true. Right now, the Iraq, Operation Iraqi Freedom is 20 years and still going. Same with Afghanistan.
Do you know what war cost America the most lives?
No.
The American Civil War. We killed ourselves.
I was trying to say that, but I was on mute. The American Civil.
Yeah, it makes sense. The thing is that, it was a different because you had the two blocks also during the Vietnam War, which made things even more murky, because there was no good guys during that war. Like with September 11 and the war on terror, everything, even if we know that it's not like that, we know that a lot of the villains were created by the light or whatever, but the West constantly pictures themselves as righteous. I'm not sure it was the same during Vietnam.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. But, I can tell you most of the Iraqi population, I would say 75% to 80, are glad that the U.S. came and took Saddam out. Now, are they happy? Are they okay with the fact that, it's still happening? I don't know. They weren't happy when they pulled the troops, I can tell you that, because, Iraqi citizens were not ready. I mean, we haven't like tasted freedom for 40 something years, right? 30, 40 something years. And then the US came in and showed us just like a little bit of freedom, and then Obama decided to pull the troops out, and this is when all these other militias decided to come in while the Iraqi military is not equipped yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that I can speak to. I'm not sure about the Vietnam War. I was not even born. I don't think, you know.
I have to interrupt, please. Please let me interrupt.
Sure.
I'm the one who set up this live, and I promised the guys we'd go an hour.
Or 2
And
hours.
I'm now starting to get messages from guys saying what's going on. So I'd like to give our two guests a chance for a minute to give if you have some kind of final comment, and then I want to mention something to the group. But yeah, like I said, I promised the guys we'd go an hour, and it's gone a lot
Oh,
longer.
so sorry. Yeah, that's. Oh, it's my apology.
No,
I
it's
didn't
been a
know
great
that you guys.
conversation. It's been a great conversation. Anyway,
Yeah,
go ahead.
no. Oh, no, I was going to say, nice to meet you, and thank you for letting me on the panel. I apologize that it took longer. I did not mean to hijack it.
You're fine. You're fine.
I don't apologize since I had no idea it was supposed to be only 1 hour.
I didn't either.
I actually
I'm
forgot until I
sorry.
looked at the clock and I'm like, oh, it's afternoon already. Yeah, breakfast is
yeah.
over.
Yeah,
So,
but thank you
breakfast.
so much for having me.
Anytime. You guys are welcome anytime. And before we wrap it up, I'd like to shout out to the other guests who were on panel and had to leave. Jam and Jet. Who else was there? Izzy's got. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't give Izzy a chance to say goodbye. Who was the other one? Jam and Jet, Howard. I'm sorry, we
I don't remember. No.
We're bad hosts. But the previous guests who left, and to Izzy. By the way, Izzy's got a show tonight with her brother. Check that out. And Stunty, anything you'd like to wrap up with?
Not really. I'm just. I've seen you a couple of times before, and I always liked your demeanor and your sense of humor, because yes, you have one. And I thought this looks like a good egg, and would be fun to have to start a conversation and to see where it goes.
Oh yeah,
with our American brothers.
Yeah. All right.
Well, let me just say to everybody, thanks for coming. Thanks for the people who came up here. I think it was a great conversation. And we didn't have any set topics, so that's fine that we went on to something else. But I want to remind everybody that very soon this sort of thing will be over on the new channel. So make sure you subscribe over there, because once we start doing that, we're not going to be doing multi-broadcast. This kind of stuff will be on that channel. And guys will also be doing stuff on their individual channels. Like Frank always had stuff before, and I think we've got Killing about 80% of the way there now to be doing the morning show on his channel. He's even come up with a name for it. But make sure you subscribe to that one that I just put there now. It's a brand new one. Instead of repurposing one of the other channels, it'll be a lot easier to deal with and stuff.
And by the way, if Killing Time's out there and can hear my voice, I really do hope you do a morning show either on the team channel or on your own. Because if I remember correctly, when you used to do the mornings on our 24/7 thing, the chicks were really digging you. And we like it when the chicks come our way. So bring it back if you can hear us. Yeah, the chicks. Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Stunty. And thank you all the other guests who've already left. And you want to do the honors of clicking the end stream, or do you want me to? Or that's you, Muckster.